me a desertion. No time to have you lurking. You make a like, now you don't like.
So y'all cooking with Titus today. Y'all been asking me to do some food today, so I'm going to do fried chicken. Y'all asked for it, so I'm gonna cook it. So your basic ingredients you're gonna have is 4 eggs, your milk, your salt, pepper, garlic, red paprika, breadcrumbs, and I suggest peanut oil because it does not burn as fast as regular vegetable oil. But to each his own. Peanut oil costs a little bit more, but like I said, I recommend it better. And you're also gonna use your chicken. Please clean your chicken, y'all. Like, I know some people think that you can get it out of a container, throw it straight in your flour and all that. You can't do it. You're gonna have to actually clean it. You gotta get up under the skin, pull all the fat from up under it. You gotta do that, you know, because that's why some people don't eat people's food. I'm just saying. But anyway, to continue on, so your basic ingredients of what you're gonna need is you're gonna need you a tablespoon of salt, pepper, garlic. Well, my bad, let me back up. You don't need a tablespoon of salt. Please don't put a tablespoon of salt in there because we ain't, most people like fried chicken, they don't need to eat all that salt. But hey, anyway, you need a half a teaspoon of salt. Everything else, you're gonna need a tablespoon of black pepper, onion powder, garlic, and red crushed pepper. You're also gonna need you a half a cup of Italian seasoning. I have everything, a tablespoon of everything right here in this bowl. I already put a half a cup of breadcrumbs in my flour. I got 2 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of Italian breadcrumbs, and everything else is right here. Gonna dump all that in there. Gonna mix it all up. You're gonna have your nice little seasons all in your flour. That is not the only thing you're gonna season. That's why some people's food come out tasting real bland because they only want to season with flour, but you gotta season more than that. Next, what you want to do is, like I showed, I got my 4 eggs in here. I'm gonna grab me a half a cup of milk. Put it in with my egg. That's gonna be basically your wet batter. Or some people call it an egg wash, some people call it a wet batter. It's whatever you really want to call it. I call it an egg wash. But who's to say what it is? So you're gonna mix your eggs up. Get it nice and mixed up with the milk. Got it nice and mixed up right there. So basically what you're gonna do now, what I have in this bowl is I have a tablespoon of onion powder, a tablespoon of garlic, I have a teaspoon of salt, and a tablespoon of black pepper. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it right on in here with my egg wash. I don't know why I threw that fork in the sink, but it'll be alright. What I'm gonna do is mix that on up in there with this egg wash. Basically what this is going to do is going to season your chicken because you're going to have to dip your chicken twice. You're going to dip it once in the egg wash, then in the flour, then right back in the egg wash again, and right back in the flour. This is what it's going to look like once you have everything mixed up. And it actually smells good too. So what you're going to do is you're going to mix it right around in your little egg wash. Nice clean chicken. You see how the seasoning sticks right there to the chicken? That's how you want it to do. And then you want to shake it, get all the excess egg off, and then you want to put it right in your bowl. You're going to have you a nice piece of chicken that looks like this. But you're not done yet. You're going to dip it right back in this egg wash again.
It smells so good. Oh my god. If you could fuck up some fried chicken, yo, we get married tomorrow. But the last time my mama made fried chicken, that shit ain't taste too good. And them fries.
See, it's gonna have a nice thick layer on it like this. That's how you want it. And then you're gonna put it right back in this batter of the flour right again. And it's gonna be a nice coat. See how nicely coated it is. Now you don't have to, you might have a little bitty spots that still kind of wet. It's okay, just roll it around a couple more times. Now the biggest thing that people fail on is when they're making fried chicken. They think they can just dip it right up in there just like this, but they gotta shake it. You gotta get all that excess off of there, because if you don't, you're gonna have a whole bunch of clumps inside your grease. So you gotta make sure you keep on shaking it. When you get done, all you want to do now is just sit it off to the side on a plate or whatever you have. So, alright, so I'm back. I have all my chicken battered up already. So, what you need to realize is I got the chicken ready to go in the fryer. I have this right here is called a Fry Daddy. You know, it don't cost that much.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a Fry Daddy right here, or a Cool Daddy, whatever you want to call it. I would recommend getting one of these because you can actually have your temperature set to a temperature you want. You know, cooking chicken on the stovetop, you know, it sometimes will burn the chicken. But right here, you can keep your grease at a certain temperature. You don't have to worry about it burning or anything. So that's what I would recommend you go ahead and get one of these. But you can also cook it on the stovetop. It's just to each his own. But what you do is you take your chicken, and you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna layer the basket at the bottom. And when you get through putting a couple of pieces in here, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and drop it, because you don't want to fill your basket up too much, because you're going to start sticking together. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and drop it on in and close the fryer on up. And the extra chicken you have left, you want to go ahead and put it in the refrigerator, because you don't want it to sit out for too long, because that's when you start getting foodborne illnesses. So you're going to put it in the refrigerator to keep it at a good temperature. Yes, I am so wrong for putting it on top of everything in the refrigerator, but I did not clean the refrigerator out, but it will be okay.
Look at the quality, babe.
What I'm doing now is I line the bottom of a strainer with paper towels so that when I pull the chicken out, the grease will sop up inside the paper towels. And no, I am not about to hold that while I'm dumping this chicken in here, because y'all was wondering. I am kind of crazy, but I'm not that crazy. And here go your beautiful golden chicken.
Damn.
Well, while I'm over here cooking the rest of this chicken, I'm actually getting ready to put my noodles, or my macaroni and cheese, inside the water. What I did is I got the water boiling. I put about a half a cup of oil inside the water for the noodles. You put the oil in there so that the noodles will not stick together. And the best macaroni and cheese I ever thought out there is called Deluxe macaroni and cheese. Like one of my noodles. But this is the name of it, Deluxe. Me personally, I think that's the best kind of macaroni out there. And it's really simple. Most people just use this cheese and the noodles and that's it. But I'm gonna show y'all a little bit different and I think a better way of making macaroni. And the flavor you get out of it is really, really amazing. But while I have this going and while this is boiling, I'm getting ready to put more chicken in the fryer, and I actually have it in the refrigerator. So like I said, make sure you keep it refrigerated so it can stay at a great below the temperature danger zone. So like I said before, you want to make sure you put the chicken in the basket first before you drop it inside the grease. And if it looks like it needs to be put some more flour on it while it's been sitting, all you got to do is just dip it in the flour. That's why you don't throw your flour away yet. And here we go. Alright, so the macaroni and cheese is done. Well, the macaroni noodles is done. I'm getting ready to drain them off now and shock them with cold water. I shock them with cold water so I can stop the cooking process. Basically, when you shock them, the way I do it, some people might do it different. What I usually do is I run cold water in my bowl or my pan I just got through cooking it in. Run cold water on them. Just rinse them off. I do that once because I still want them lukewarm. I still need it to cook, well, melt the cheese that I'm getting ready to add right back in there. So what you want to do is go ahead and add this one bag of cheese in there, which everybody knows this one little bag of cheese right here. There's never enough cheese for macaroni and cheese. So what you want to do, I bought a can of nacho cheese. I love nacho cheese. It actually gives the macaroni and cheese a great taste, and it's very cheap, honestly. It only costs $1.50 for a can. So you get you a whole can of cheese for $1.50. It's not a bad deal if you ask me. Just stir this up really good. And no, we are not done. Some people like macaroni and cheese like this. I can't stand it. So what I do is bake my macaroni. But before you bake it, you see how loose it is? That's not good. So what you want to do is, you're going to grab you some breadcrumbs, and you want to put you a cup, or a half a cup, because I'm only making a little bit. So I'm only going to put a half a cup of breadcrumbs in there. A half a cup. We're going to pull it off the eye that it was cooking on. We're going to eyeball it to see if that's going to be enough. And by the way, I'm using Italian breadcrumbs. By the way, I love Italian breadcrumbs. And it's really not enough, so I'm going to add just a hair bit more. You don't want your macaroni and cheese to be too thick, and you don't want it too loose either. Yeah, I know this is a big pan for this little bit of macaroni, but we all hate washing dishes, so $1.25 for a pan. Or two pans, actually. Delicious looking macaroni right here. I'm gonna throw you some cheese on top of it. Sharp cheddar. that's all that's to it for fried chicken and macaroni and cheese. And it's very simple to cook. French fries. They're already cut. All you gotta do is throw them in the fryer. Like I always tell you, pull the basket out the grease. Put whatever you want to put in there.
I don't want the oil to top on me.
And